Well, it's been a very, very long time since we have done these videos. I mentioned this idea to Dawson 3 years ago when I was addicted to watching these videos and watching celebrities talk about the films and characters that they played. So I thought, hey, why not? Let's talk about ours. It's been a very long 3 years. We've done a lot of stuff over the past 3 years since the last character video that we did. I'm very proud of what we've done over the last 3 years. We have, like my dad says, we keep getting better with every film, and I would agree with that. We've done a lot of different things, and of course I'll be talking about all the wonderful and illustrious career of all the characters that I've played in these last 3 years. But whether new times or not, I said in the last character video, change has changed my life, and I still agree with that. I never thought it would ever get as big as it has. Here we are in 2022, 20-year-olds now, making videos with tiny cameras and many different things. Yeah, this should be a lot of fun. I got a lot of villains, of course. If you've watched the videos, you know I am the bad guy. It should be really fun to explain and talk about all the different types of characters and memories that I have had over the last 3 years. Jack Gilmore, Retribution. Now, it was really ironic because in the last character video I talked about how we should do another part to the Arrow Jack Gilmore series, and not even a month after that we actually did it, and with Retribution. That one was probably the most tiring to do because Dawson was working at the jail at the time, and he didn't come to the house until like 6 or 7, and we shot this film really late at night. And we stayed up till 5 o'clock in the morning editing it, and that was where I was like, hey, let's not do this again, where we stay up in the middle of the night and edit this stinking thing. But Jack Gilmore as a character is pretty cool. I explained it in the last video how I came up with Jack Gilmore, and it was in the wintertime, and it was before we did the Versus video with Arrow and the Assassin with Chris and Dawson, and I just thought he would be a cool dude. I've wrote an entire film about his backstory, and it basically leads up to the film where he confronts the Assassin and Arrow. It's Jack Gilmore, basically. Jack Gilmore is a crazy dude, but he gets mutilated and murdered in this film, and it's sad, but he kind of deserves it because he killed Arrow's best friend. And so, you know, it is what it is. Can't really do much about it. I know in Dawson's video he's talking about him getting stabbed a bunch with the stick and everything. I'm surprised that Arrow does not have any infections yet because of how much blood is on that stick and going into each other's bodies. That's the only thing I can think of, a staph infection. Yeah, it was fun to film. Very cool outside. A lot of blood. Very dark also. And yeah, it was just a lot of fun to do. Jack Gilmore is always a fun character to play. Sad that I will probably not ever get to play him again. Or I might play a character that's like him in a future video. But yeah, Jack Gilmore. Olin Ringbey in Star Wars Aftermath. Star Wars Aftermath is my favorite film that we've ever done. Just because of the amount of storytelling that we did in this video. Like Dawson said, he's a very complex individual, or Dawson's character is a very complex individual. It's funny because the film was written on a white piece of paper in a jail. Think about that, folks. That's what budget we're running on. And we did that, and Dawson wrote it out, and we just went out in the woods, made it, and it was fun. Initially, it was just going to be Dawson's character fighting a normal rebel, and then we decided to be like, hey, it'd be cool if this was my girly friend's brother. And it made it more emotional, and we did all that stuff. It was pretty cool to play Olin. Funny, it makes me think of when Dawson said my name wrong in the first take, where he called me Owen, and I had to correct him. That was pretty fun. Yeah, it was fun playing Olin Ringbey. Zan was my sister, which is not the first time she's played my sister, so that was pretty funny. But yeah, we got to do all that kind of cool stuff, and Dawson dies. Rarely do you ever see a film where Dawson gets killed, or is already dead, like in the next film I'm going to talk about, and in Yin and Yang, which you should go watch both of those videos. But yeah, Olin Ringbey, cool little rebel guy, got to lay Mr. Dash to rest, and he's just an all-around good guy. Don't know if we'll ever see him again in the Star Wars universe. We might, but not with Dash, because obviously Dash is dead. But yeah, there's Olin Ringbey. Ulf Valthjofsson, or as I like to call him, Ulf the Viking, because that's a long last name. This film, I forgot to mention in the last section, COVID started around that time, so it was a very different experience for the both of us, because at the time it was just me and Dawson, and we had nobody else. It was a very weird time for us, but COVID was an obstacle that we didn't really have trouble with, because it actually kind of made it easier, because it was just us. But Ulf the Viking, very vicious character. That costume, I'm pretty sure anytime I moved it would fall apart. I had my shin guards pulling down about all the time, and the fact that we used actual real swords was scary too, because we honestly could have killed ourselves, but we didn't. We're safe individuals. It was pretty cool to do that. I did stab Dawson a lot, not on purpose, maybe, but you know, that film was cool to do. If you've watched it, like Dawson said in his video, there's a lot of theories about, was Dawson's character dead? Was I a demon inside of his mind? Did it even actually happen at all? Because some people would think to themselves, how in the world would a knight meet up with a Viking? Don't ask me. We just made it up. It is what it is, you know. When it comes to your imagination, creativity, anything is possible. Anything is possible with the power of imagination. But that was pretty cool to do. I hope to never wear that outfit again, because it rubbed my skin raw pretty bad in some parts. I can only imagine with Dawson's outfit. I knew that it was hard to wear all that metal. And yeah, it was fun doing that, filming it. It actually was supposed to be a bigger film than what it was. It was supposed to be me, Dawson, and Preston as a samurai knight and a Viking fighting each other, but we could not get Preston at the time, so we made it a Viking and a knight. And it's still one of the coolest things that we've done. And it's also the first Christian film we've ever done. Now, I don't think I've talked about that in the videos, but it is the first religious-esque film we've done. Because the whole film is really based around the Templars' prayer, and I mean the film is called The Day of Prayer, for crying out loud. So, yeah, it's pretty cool, and that's Ulf Valthjofsson. Brock Graham in Uncharted, The Jules Curse. I almost forgot the title. Brock Graham, I will say, was an idiot. What character have I played that's not an idiot, that acts like one? Wait till we get to the very end. You'll get to meet a nice young fellow. Yeah, Brock was actually a name that was given to my character by my mom. I generated, like, a name for Preston's character, and his is Bruno. And one of the names that she wanted to name me, or Drew, my brother, Drew, was Brock, and she was like, oh, there you go, there's your name. And so I became Brock Graham, who was Preston's brother. The first and only time I played Preston's brother, which we don't even look related, but that's okay. Had some family issues. Brock had some family issues with Bruno about their father. You just watch the film, it's like Dr. Phil almost. That was pretty fun to do. I was kind of the one that was just kind of there, because, you know, Bruno, if you've seen the film, turns on Nathan Drake at the end because he gets cursed by the jewel. It's in the title, man. And it was a really cool waterfall fighting scene. We got to use the waterfall a lot. That was pretty cool. I didn't step 1 foot in the water on purpose because I was in full costume and I did not want to get my shoes wet or anything. So I sat on the big tree. There's a scene where Preston comes down with the sword and Dawson goes under the tree, and I was literally sitting on the tree filming it. Or I was leaning up against it. I don't really remember either one. There's also a weird moment behind the scenes where there was a random tent that was there, and we never found out if it was someone's tent because there was no vehicle there, but it was very creepy, and I didn't know what was going to happen. But that was a pretty fun film to do. The first time that we filmed at Talona in a very long time. Talona is a very nice place. If you live in LJ, go check it out. It's a really cool place to be if you want to be around drunkheads. But yeah, Brock Graham was a cool character. Another one of my funny comedy characters that I have and that I've done in Whether News Happens or Not over the last 7, almost 8 years now. And yeah, Brock Graham.
I've been watching you.
Darth Othi from Star Wars The Path of the Jedi. I know Dawson and his video talked about us doing wanting to do backstories to Michael Vanti, his character. Darth Othi is a Sith. I've played a Sith before in the first South Jardé video as Darth Jerex, where he gets his head caved in. It's very fun. But hopefully, if we do the Michael Vanti series, we'll get to see Darth Othi more, because like I said to Dawson, I think he really is the true enemy of Michael Vanti, and we just saw him kill him for the very first time. That film was very interesting to do. It got dark not really, well actually what's funny is a behind the scenes moment, we played Minecraft for like 3 or 4 hours before we even filmed that video. So we got pumped, we got ready to go to film that at 9 o'clock at night. But yeah, our Darth Othi, very dark individual. He literally is just me dressed up in Sith outfit. Like no makeup, no nothing. It's just me in a Sith outfit. So pretty recognizable, I would say. I'm not saying I'm recognizable. I'm just saying if you know what I look like and you see me in a Sith outfit, that's Darth Othi. Yeah, that film was cool to do. It didn't really take us that long that I can remember to do. Editing it, I honestly don't remember editing it, sadly. A lot of the time I would, but I don't. That was a film that we did back-to-back with the next film I'm going to talk about, where I'm just going to save it for the next section. But yeah, that was pretty fun to do. Got to be evil. Love being evil. Can't you tell? I love being evil. But yeah, Darth Othi. A Lego! Yeah! Do like Dawson did, because I was a Lego. I played Theocydes in Death and Glory, where he was just kind of the co-commander to Argos's character. We led the army to beat the Romans. That was fun. Fun fact, if you wonder why our voices sound like we are trying not to be loud and whisper, it's because we were in a dang closet. Dawson's closet, to be exact. Like Dawson said in his video, we were at the 4th of July, party for 4th of July, and do you really want us screaming at the top of our lungs, "Go fight the Romans!" You know, like, no, I don't think so. But that was pretty cool. We took about 800 or so pictures, which, for the life of me, I never thought we would ever do. We attempted to do a Star Wars Lego film back in 2017, but, you know, technology sucks. And we got all the pictures done, but it crashed, so we couldn't finish the rest of it. But that was a very interesting experience. We've wanted to do a Lego film for a long time. We finally got to do it. It was very fun. Theocydes is pretty cool. He kind of leads the army when Argos is not there, or when Argos is at the very front of the line like he was in the film. And yeah, they went back and forth, a lot of blood, not real, a lot of people going into the Lego water. That was cool. A very cool scene with a spear getting chucked and killing somebody. I'm pretty sure that was my Lego guy who threw the spear. Yeah. I could never do that in real life. And yeah, Dawson's watching it behind the camera. Yeah, it took several hours. The not so fun part was doing the sound effects because it's a Lego thing. It's not real, so you gotta add a bunch of sound effects, and that was the hardest part, was the sound effects, because it was already basically edited for us on that app. But if y'all want us to do more Lego stuff, let us know in the comments down below. But that's the Theocydes. One of the Hanson brothers, George Hanson from Chase, Ian actually came up with our characters' names, George and Jim. He actually said it as a joke, but I was like, yeah, we'll go with it. Yes, I play George, who looks like an Irishman, Hanson, who was the brother of Ian, which I think is the first and only time that I ever was Ian's brother. Basically, it was the idea, Dawson wanted to show off his Assassin's Creed outfit, and I was like, we should somewhat have a storyline to this. And I thought of these two brothers that are just, you know, working for somebody, and the assassin tries to find them. He chases them down and kills them. And that's basically what happens. There's not too much to say. I know Dawson didn't say a lot about it because it's not much of a film. It's just a lot of walking and only like one scene of talking. And it's, I mean, I wouldn't say it's not interesting, but hey, if that video can get 200 to 300 views, then anything can. It was pretty cool to film. We filmed it at our local park in town, and we also filmed it in LJ, in the square and everything. So that was also very cool to do as well. It was hot as crap that day. I think it was the hottest day that we've ever recorded in. And like, we were changing into our outfits and we were sweating water. That was the consistency of our sweat. And it felt like we peed ourselves because we sweat so much through our clothes. Dawson had a heat stroke almost. I think me and Ian also almost had a heat stroke because we were running in the hot. It was also the first film that Caitlin worked on. And she didn't mention that, but I'm going to mention it for her. Yeah, she helped film that a little bit. And yeah, we died of a heat stroke. Well, actually, I'm still here. We're still here, so we're not dead. But yeah, that was George Hanson. Good morning, Vietnam! Ricky Brennan and Thomas Bradley in Come Home. I also played all the Vietnamese soldiers that you see get killed. I put my body on the line, folks. I did have a lot of bruises after that. But Thomas Bradley, I played Dawson's brother, which you don't see that a lot. I do play his brother for one of the few times that I have. I was an idiot, like Caitlin said in her video. I did not treat the ladies correctly. I was not a gentleman. And that's why at the end of the video you find out that she left me. Yeah, she left me. It's whatever. Thomas moved on to bigger and greater things by being more of an idiot. But yeah, his brother has gone away to the war. And I'm just there to take care of the women. I don't think I did a good job of it. But, you know, Hope was in that film also. It was her first and only film that she was ever in. I will say, behind the scenes stuff, I was very nervous because I was acting in front of two girls that I've never acted in front of before. So I don't know if I was visibly nervous, but I felt it on the inside. That's why I think my, hey, I'm gonna treat these women like crap attitude came out, was because of that. And it was fun though, because we got the rain shot, and that's all that matters. We got the rain shot that I helped film, and, well, Caitlin was in the background just staring on. She got to watch all of it. She got to watch us film that on the bridge, which we filmed on the bridge multiple times before. But Come Home is one of those films that I did not expect for it to do as well as it did. We kind of just, Dawson just kind of came up with it out of thin air, and we did it, and it was supposed to have Preston in it. Didn't happen. There's going to be a lot of those that I talk about. Preston was supposed to be in it, and he wasn't, for multiple reasons. Yeah, Come Home was really fun to do. I really like doing the Vietnam stuff, and I love doing the, oh, this is this date in the 60s, blah, 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 and doing the radio guy. That was the most fun, playing Ricky Brennan, who is based off of Robin Williams' character from Good Morning Vietnam. And no, I have not seen the movie. I've just seen the scene where he is the radio guy during the Vietnam War. But that was fun to do. Hopefully we get to do more war stuff at some point, because we've had some ideas. I've even came up with some of my own based off of World War One, I think World War II, and there's a trench one that Dawson's talked about. So look out for those. But that's Thomas Bradley and Ricky Brennan. Before I get into talking about this, I know Dawson mentioned it in his character video. Rest in peace to Jason David Frank. They're a big inspiration to me and Dawson when it came to Power Rangers as a whole. It was nice to actually get to do a film with the Green Ranger in it, with a Ranger like that. We've wanted to do a film like that for a long time. We have done stuff with the Green Ranger before, but that was back when we were freshmen in high school, and Dawson was Trent Mayer, and he died. Shocker, no, but he died in that series. But that film was pretty fun to do, Green Ranger versus Reptile. I got to play Reptile. It was pretty warm that day too. I got to play actually 3 different people. I played Billy Cranston, the Blue Ranger, not in the suit, but I did get to play him with blue on. And then Austin Ford, who was Reptile, is the body that Reptile took over in the film. And that I came up with his name because I work at a Ford dealership, and I just wanted to put Ford in the last name. So there you go. Shout out to Ronnie Thompson Ford. But yeah, that was a cool film to do. It was just me and Dawson, like we used to do back in high school, and it was a very interesting experience. I had troubles with that suit. I know we had to tape my over part on my back because it kept falling off. That was very frustrating, but we got that to work, and the morphing sequence in that film was very awesome as well, with the green smoke. No, it's not weed. But, you know, I'm just saying, but the fight scenes are very good in that film, and we put a lot of effort into that video, and now it'll forever be in memory of Jason David Frank. So there you go. That is all of the characters I played in the Green Ranger vs. Reptile. Marc Patterson in Halo Remembrance. I actually won an acting award for this. Doesn't mean anything, but I did on Instagram. But yeah, Marc Patterson was the friend of Cole Long, Dawson's character, and he becomes a Marine in the Halo universe, and just kind of randomly ends up in the middle of nowhere and comes across a Spartan who he has no idea who it is, because, you know, it's a Spartan. They all could be anyone, whoever it could be. He finds out that the Spartan is his best friend Cole, and he has to live with that for the rest of his life, that he came across him and couldn't do anything to talk to him or help him out or anything, because he thought that he wasn't going to be going to the war. And it comes to him as a surprise that he did 7 years later. But that was a pretty cool thing to do also. Like Dawson said, it got pretty cool, and then it got pretty warm towards the end because the sun decided to come out. I remember having to go to a wedding that weekend in the middle of that. Or we would have gotten done with it sooner. But it is what it is. But filming the flashback stuff was probably my favorite things to do, because it showed the real side of these characters, such as, you know, Cole and his girlfriend, their relationship with each other, and then her giving him the necklace that meant whatever the crap it meant, and my character who just gets left alone by himself on a bench waiting for his friend to show up. It's very sad. That's Marc, and Marc is a cool dude. I mean, in the flashback scenes, he just looks like me, dressed up like I normally do in public. So, it was really just me in the army, but as a guy named Marc. I know in the original film, the idea for the original film of the Halo Remembrance, Hope was going to be playing Caitlin's character, and my character was actually going to die right off the bat, where Dawson's character crashes and he comes across a Marine who is half dead, and it's me laying there dying, and I die. And that was it. That was all I was supposed to do. I remember that. And we were supposed to do like a green screen on a ship and stuff, and we never did that either. But it's fine, because that would have been a lot. But the film was pretty cool within itself. I liked doing it, and that's Marc Patterson. Preston Everett in For the Greater Good. His real name actually was Damien Everett, but Ian called me by the wrong name, so we just went with it. He called me Preston for some reason. But yeah, we changed it to Preston Everett. Preston Everett's an odd individual. He thinks that there is a greater good out there, and that by kidnapping this young lady, he'll get that. Very odd individual. But it is one of the bloodiest and goriest films we've ever done. If you get the amount of people that have been squeamish in this film, it's pretty funny. Because Dawson stepping on my neck and having blood go right into my earlobe, in my ear, that was fun. At the time, I didn't know what was going on. All I knew is that blood tasted nasty. But that was a pretty cool one to do also. Yes, my hand did get exploded. Dawson did say that. My hand gets blown off, and Ian gets his face shot. Sorry, Ian. Actually, not really. You kind of did it to yourself. But, yeah. It was actually also the first time that Ian and Caitlin were on screen together. She beat the crap out of him, I would say. I don't think he has any gonads anymore. And he chases her, and it's like the only fight scene you'll ever probably see of Caitlin and Ian together, because she chucks him down the hill, and he just got beat up by a woman. So, I don't know what that says about the character, but it is what it is also. I like doing the custom Judge guy. I know we did the Judge Dredd trailer, but that was of Judge Dredd, not Judge Hill. And people were saying, oh, it's on the wrong side. Oh, the badge is on the wrong side. Realize that this is our own version of Judge Hill. He's our Judge Dredd. So, you might want to get a life. But yeah, it was pretty cool to film. I remember we didn't have anything that we wanted to film. Like, we couldn't think of anything that we wanted to film at all. And I texted Dawson and I was like, well, what about the Judge film that you came up with in July? And then that's how that film started to become a thing. And that was filmed in this exact room. This entire room is where we held Caitlin hostage. It's not the first. It's the first time at the time that I held her hostage, but we'll see that later in the video, where I do it again. Because for some reason, my characters love kidnapping women. That sounded so wrong, but it's fine. But yeah, that's Preston Everett. Deep within the woods. Yeah. Bigfoot. I got to play Bigfoot. I was honored to get to play this monstrous creature. Bigfoot, and I also played Adam Sharp, who is a Bigfoot enthusiast. Bigfoot was very fun to play. I think Bigfoot was very fun to play. 26,000 views, it better be fun to play. It was fun stalking Caitlin. Don't know why I get shoved in those situations where I have to either kill, kidnap, or stalk Caitlin. Don't ask me why. You'll think that I'm a weirdo. But no, Bigfoot, big monster guy, very fun to do. I will say it's the best way to get warm, because it was very warm in that outfit. I became a Mankey that day. It's fun fighting Dawson and throwing him around. There's a couple scenes where you can see my backside, and with the zipper's not all the way up. But that's cool. My Adam Sharp character's head gets taken off, which that was wild. We left that head in the river. So hopefully people didn't think someone actually died, because that was my face painted on that head. Yeah, it was pretty cool to do that film as a whole. You can tell the chemistry between Dylan and Adam. They do not like each other, which is funny, because a lot of the characters that me and Dawson play where we're partners, we don't like each other, which is very opposite in real life. I don't know how that works, but that's how it happens. Yeah, splitting up was not a great idea. I agree with Dawson. I don't know why my character thought that was going to be such a great idea, but, you know. We had a lot of negative comments on that film, which is fine. It comes with the territory. People saying that my character didn't grab the gun. Yeah, with a big gun like that, what would you do in that situation? Well, that was fun to do. I loved being a Mankey for a day. Planning that was fun. The original idea, which I think is hilarious every time when I think about it, is the Bigfoot versus Wolverine. That was actually going to be the film, where the Wolverine goes head-to-head against Bigfoot. That would have been a massacre. But instead, I massacred Dawson. And who knows if his character's still alive or not. I don't know. It's not real. But y'all can make your assumptions and ideas in the comments whether Dylan Dixon is still alive or not. My answer is it's a 50-50. So, who knows. But that's Bigfoot and Adam Sharp. The Inquisitor, or Jerex Angavel in Star Wars The Stranger. This film took about 3 months to do because my lightsaber died on the first day of filming. When me and Dawson were trying to do the epic lightsaber battle. Jerex is the master of South Jardé, the iconic Whether News Happens or Not character. Please do not steal it from us. Jerex is believed to be dead until you find out in this film that he is not. He faked his death and turned to the dark side, and now has to face one-on-one against South Jardé in this epic showdown of the final film in the Season 1 trilogy. Oh, I said Season 1. Season 1 trilogy of South Jardé. Jerex is fun to play. I don't know if I talked about Journey of the Past in the last character video, but those flashback scenes are fun to do with Julian. And, yes, Dawson did say my lightsaber color is green, because that's how South got scarred, was because he turned the lightsaber on and hit himself in the face. But yeah, Jerex is a cool dude to play. Most of the time when I did play him, he was a ghost, or a vision, I should say. Kind of like Qui-Gon Jinn in Obi-Wan, basically like that, if you've watched Obi-Wan. But yeah, Jerex is cool to play. He was a mentor to South until Dawson burns him alive with his lightsaber that actually didn't touch any fire. That was also very weird. I remember the behind the scenes for that, where Dawson chucked the lightsaber in the fire and not a single flame was on that lightsaber. So that was pretty magical, if you ask me. It might have been the Force. Who knows? But yeah, Jerex is a great teacher. Was a great teacher. The death scene at the end was cool. The fight scene, lightsaber fight scene, took me 3 hours to edit. And it was also featured on the Sherry Show on TV. So that was cool. And yeah, that's Jerex Angavel. Rene Belloq in Indiana Jones and the Lost Gems. Surprisingly, I've never seen any of the Indiana Jones films. But I know who Rene Belloq is because Dawson told me who he was. We actually were supposed to do this film instead of the Uncharted film in 2020, but we did it a year ahead. And we did it in April of last year. Rene Belloq is the first French guy I think I've ever played in a video, and one of my favorite villains to play. I also got soaking wet in that one. We fought in the rain, and Dawson smacked me so hard I flew in the sky. That was also fun to do. Yeah, like Dawson said in his video, a lot of the characters, some characters, I'm pretty sure this is like one of the only ones that I've played where it's an existing character. So if you want to learn more about Rene Belloq, look him up on Google. But I had fun playing him, going from a good guy sidekick to a bad guy. The set was very cool to see in person because Dawson and Caitlin worked on that for about a day and a half. And that was pretty fun to do. I was the one in the video that did all the traps that could have killed Dawson. Not really, but his character, to say the least. I also got whipped by a real whip. So that was also fun. Which is not the first time that I've actually got whipped with a whip. Because we did the Indiana Jones trailer back in 2016 and I got whipped in the face. But I had a helmet on, so that was fine. But Rene Belloq was pretty cool. And yeah, just Google him. You'll figure it out. Dylan Watson in Interrogation, the older brother of Alexis Watson, Caitlin's character in Interrogation. That was probably one of the best in my opinion. It's probably my second best performance that I've done, in my opinion. Dylan was your typical, I don't care if I get in trouble kid, did whatever he wanted to, and he lied his way through everything because he thought he could get away with everything. But the interrogation scenes with me and Dick Grayson, Dawson's character, are very fun. They're very fun to do. It's always fun to act like someone you're not. And that's exactly what I did. I also think another funny moment in that film is where Dawson basically slams the table and gets in my face, and you can look at the look on my face where I got like a smile, and then right when he gets in my face I'm like not happy at all, which I did not notice that until I watched the clip back. That's when you know you're taking it seriously. But that film was very fun to do, and yes, as Caitlin and Dawson have mentioned it, I did get beat the crap out of. That comes with the territory also. I did get a couple of cool scenes in there where I took my jacket off acting like I was awesome. But you know, once again, I kidnap another woman. Again, I don't know what is going on. It's just like the theme of where I abuse women. What is going on here? Yeah, my character kidnaps his ex-girlfriend and hides her under a bridge. Sounds like the dumbest criminal ever, but, you know, it's Dylan Watson. He thinks he's cool and everything. Going up against a guy like Robin, which is the Titans Robin. So that's a whole different Robin than Robin. But that was cool to do. I flailed around everywhere, fell on the concrete, did all the stunts and junk like that. Just so we could make it real. And no, the blood that hits the bridge is not all the blood that comes out of my face, because then I would be out of it, pretty much. Yeah, that's Dylan Watson. Webb Boatwright. Like I was telling, from Brothers, I was telling Dawson off camera and Caitlin, I was like, I feel like the film is really from the perspective of both Dawson and my character. Because, you know, at the beginning of the film, if you've watched it, because it takes place during the Battle of Atlanta, he goes to visit the graves of the brothers. It feels like when he's narrating and he goes to the graves and stuff that he's telling you the story of what happened from how he remembers it and how he was told about it. And he's just a good guy, you know. Webb didn't want to kill people that were just like us, which is kind of contradicting considering the fact that he is in a war. Where is America versus America? I don't know. He has his own reasons. Webb was a nice guy up until he was forced to kill Thomas, who was originally named Manson, but we changed it to Thomas. Fun fact. Yeah, Preston did a great job playing a dead body, like a really good job, and Dawson had to haul him around everywhere. Dawson had a record 4-minute death scene. I want y'all to remember that. 4 minutes of dying. It's impressive. I think it's he's dead right now behind the camera. But, yeah, that was fun to do. Very hot outside. The firecrackers about scared the crap out of me. When they were telling me, when Dawson was like, hey, we should put firecrackers in these to make these look like they're going off, I was hating my life. I'm not a fan of fireworks. I like looking at them, but not being right at them. And so when the firework or firecracker was right in my face, basically, because the barrel's right there's a couple times where I jump because I was scared of nothing. I was just scared of the firework, really. But it looked real, and that's all that mattered. That was pretty fun to do, and I liked doing that a lot, and that was Webb. Marcus Thorn and Andy Allen in the murder mystery film, which is a long title that I'm surprised Dawson said the entire thing in his video, because it's a long title. Marcus Thorn was pretty much, I think all of us are really the main characters, like me and Caitlin were really the main characters of that film. Chief Detective. Not much of a Chief Detective if you get your evidence coordinator to figure it out, and you can't. I also got to play Andy Allen, who was the guy who killed the Harmony girl by punching her in the face. It's very laughable. It's very funny. I know when my parents watched it for the first time, that film, they died laughing when they found out that he punched her in the face, and that's how she died. He should have been an MMA fighter, but, you know, it's whatever. The interrogation scenes with voiceover were really great. Frank was really great. Shout out to Frank, who gave us the voiceover for Harmony's fiance. And me and Dawson got to do some cool interrogation stuff on the fly. I really want to do another one of those. We've talked about doing one of those again. I know when Caitlin brought it up to me about wanting to do a film based off this game, I was like, yeah, if it's already all there, we can do whatever. And so most of the lines in the interrogation, actually all of the lines in the interrogation stuff, are from the game. FYI, if y'all want to know. And the scene at the end where I'm running away from Dawson and he tries to kill me or do something about it. It was very interesting because I had to put the entire hoodie over my face so he would not be able to see my face, because the guy in the picture does not look like me. Yes, he wears glasses, and he's like probably 200, 300 pounds heavier than me. So, you know, it's whatever. Got to do some cool stuff, put the green screen behind the door. Got to see like the police station and stuff. You also got to see me in front of a courthouse. That was cool. That was 45 minutes long, which deserves to be 45 minutes long because of how much stuff we packed into it. It was a good film. I liked it a lot, and I hope to do more videos like that in the future. Marcus Thorn, cool name, cool guy, really big fan of Arby's. I mean, that's just me in real life, too. It's only because we actually went to Arby's while filming that. And I remember how hot, like a sauna, it was in my front room because we had all the doors shut. Maybe kids don't shut all your doors and talk like a maniac like we did and warm up the room. But it was really fun to do, and I can't wait to do it again. Lincoln Roberts, the monster, the strange man, and the voice of the announcer in Drop Zone. The Drop Zone was an idea that I came up with in the shower at Pigeon Forge in a hotel room. Very specific, I know, but that's how it happened. That was December of last year, and I never thought that the film would ever come to pass, but here we are. The Drop Zone is a thing. Lincoln Roberts, or Link Roberts, is the character. He's another comedian character, I would say. He tries to be funny. And he comes across Dawson's character who just gets dropped into this game, the Drop Zone, and just tries to figure out a way out, and they do, and meets Caitlin's character, Sydney, who is just about to get dropped into the game, and we save her life, pretty much. And yeah, I also played the strange man, who is the guy who invites Dawson, or Cody, to participate in the game, because he runs a lot. It's a great reason, because there's a lot of running in this, and that's all we do, is a lot of running. It's like the Hunger Games film. We run the whole time. And then I played the monster, which is just me in a gorilla suit. That was fun. And then I voiced the announcer, which is when we're in the garage. That scene where we're going out into the game, or they are going out into the game, is my garage at my house. We just used the tanning bed that was in there. Yes, that was a tanning bed that Dawson came out of. And yeah, it was pretty fun to do. Very rainy outside that day also. We filmed in a lot of different locations, including a open, rotted out field next to one of the new suburb areas next to Dawson's house. And that was pretty cool to do. A lot of fun stuff. It's always great and fun when you get to do a lot of original stuff. And that's exactly what we did, and we took advantage of it. And it was very fun to do. And I hope to do it again. He's got the whole world in his hands. Yeah, this is who took Sarah. I played Forrest Skinner / Pete Haley in that film, and I also played Officer Fatso and the Uber customer assistant man, Ishmael. That was pretty fun. Pete Haley is my favorite performance that I've ever done. I think it's the best one that I've done. I just don't know where I went to, what dark place in my mind I went to do this guy. Our intention, me and Dawson's intention, was to make this dude the craziest dude we have ever made up, ever. And he was. Dude acted like he was an Uber driver. Kidnapped another girl, see, there it is again, and was gonna probably kill her, probably. And you come to find out Pete Haley is his real name, and he's just a psychopath. And I had some people, my family, were asking me, where did I come up with, or out of nowhere, He's Got the Whole World in His Hands song. For one, it is a Christian song. If you sing it very creepily, it's very creepy. I am a big wrestling fan. I've talked about it before on the channel. Bray Wyatt, the wrestler Bray Wyatt, he would sing that song sometimes in the ring or coming to the ring or whatever. And so it just kind of popped in my head in the moment, and I started singing it. And the only reason why I knew the rest of the song is because I looked up the lyrics to it. I cheated. But that's okay. The film was fun to do. I really liked this film, and like Dawson said, it was our first actual hour-long film that had a bunch of stuff in it, a bunch of people in it, including my mom, who played Caitlin's mom in it, and we had Alyssa, Jill, Ian. It was very cool. It was very cool to also have a lot of girls in it for the first time in probably like 4 or 5 years. And so that was pretty cool to see. My favorite scene is probably the shootout scene at the end, where we literally shoot each other at point blank. I'm surprised that our characters still were alive. But, you know, it is what it is. And we did all that stuff, and that was when Dawson had the mane in that film. And he also, if y'all forgot what his name was, shame on you. Because when you watch that whole hour, you will know who Ray Dixon is. But that film was also featured on the Sherry Show as well. Don't know what I'm talking about. It's a show on TV that I direct for my job. But I was on there at one point, and I got to talk about all this stuff. And, you know, go check it out. It's cool. Yeah, that was fun to do, doing a lot of cool shots of, like, showing her tied up in the closet and all that cool stuff. And like Caitlin said, I thought of the idea when my mom was cleaning out the closet, and I was like, that'd be, you know, this looks like a place that someone would hide a person in there. And then that's where all the film came from, and how one little tiny thing can make a huge, huge film. So there might be another film with Ray Dixon. There might be another film with some other detective guy. Who knows? But that's who took Sarah. The Room with Dr. Mortem. This guy is another one of the evil psychological characters that I play on most occasions. The cool thing about this character is Dr. Mortem translates to Dr. Death in Latin. So that's a cool little thing to learn about. I know Dawson talked about seeing his true self at the end of the film, and the mask that I do wear in that is the Fiend's mask from in the WWE of the Fiend Bray Wyatt. Notice I get a lot of inspiration from Bray Wyatt. But the mask, we use that mask for when he reveals himself to Russell. But that film was really cool to do. It meant a lot to me in a sense that we got to film in my grandparents' basement for the very first time. And since I was little, I hung out all the time in my grandparents' basement. And the fact that we got to do not one but two films in my grandparents' basement it meant a lot because it was somewhere that I was always at when I was little. But it was fun to play Dr. Mortem. It was fun going to Canton and filming the scenes where Dawson gets ran over. We still don't know why he got ran over. Someone's out to get him, I guess. But he wakes up in the room, and like Dawson said, a lot of the film, everything means something. And, you know, he wakes up in this place called the Room, which you could really consider it like purgatory, because if Dawson didn't make it out, he'd be dying. But he makes it out, so he lives. And so it's kind of like seeing the light and not, you know, and not making it or whatever. And he made it out, so he got to live. So really, he was, in the entire film, he's laying on the concrete out. Like, he was just knocked out the entire time. And so, if he never made it out of the room, he would have died, and his little girly friend would have been very sad. But, yeah, we were supposed to do some scenes with Caitlin's character, and if we did them, we would have probably got the cops called on us. But we didn't do them, so that's why Caitlin got to be in it for 5 seconds. And then she just sat in the truck, not caring the world that he was ran over. Because the great question is, where did he go? Or where did she go? I don't know. But that was cool to do. We also got to film in a field at Harrison Park in town. That was really cool to do, except we got bit everywhere and that sucked. But yeah, The Room is a very interesting and probably one of the most unique films we've ever done. I would say we might not make as crazy of a film ever again, but I highly doubt that because I feel like it'll just get crazier from here. So, yeah, it's The Room. Maverik Garallia in Star Wars Bounty. Yes, Caitlin was right. I do look like a Spy Kids villain in it. Specifically Spy Kids 3. That character was fun to do. It was really my normal, egotistical, arrogant villain who was like, oh yeah, I'm better than you, ha ha ha, you know. And so I'm the best gunslinger ever, and that obviously was proven wrong. Yeah, making that whole set and everything was last minute. It was pretty cool though to do all of it, especially with all the bar stuff and having all the makeup and stuff and making me and Preston look different. I don't know why my character was friends with Preston's character, but we'll never know. I guess they were just talking in the bar, and it happened, so it's whatever. But it was cool to introduce Jasper, another custom Mandalorian, because in the past we've done Rex Malahan, who is the Mandalorian in our universe. But this is the man with no name, Jasper McBride, who was a really cool character to see on screen. But Maverik, I've always liked the name Maverik, so I always wanted to do or play a character with the name Maverik, and putting the makeup on my facial hair really made him stand out a lot, and also wearing the goggles made him look more like a Matrix character and a Spy Kids character. The fight scenes are cool. Yes, I did get flipped and fell onto actual rocks. It hurt, and that's why I never got up from it until Preston and Dawson were done fighting each other. And I got kicked through the wall, which I requested to happen because I wanted it to look cool. I wanted him to get kicked through a wall. And that was fun to do that. That film was filmed oddly on a Sunday. We don't normally do that, but we filmed that on a Sunday all day, and it was cool to have Preston on that film again, since he wasn't in a film since Brothers, and that was pretty cool to have that happen, and where we drank space juice, aka Gatorade, Gatorade, for those people that don't speak English. But yeah, that was Star Wars Bounty. It's pretty cool and fun. You know, sometimes the wind speaks to me in very weird ways, and it tells me cryptic things, and you know, I just have to listen to them. That's what Jeffrey did in Inside. I played Jeffrey Sheppard in Inside. He's a very supernatural fella. He doesn't sleep, he dreams. Very specific, but yeah. It was fun to play him. It was really me and Dawson acting like ourselves. And, well, except I don't believe in the supernatural crap, but I just was making up stuff. Improv, guys. Do you know us by now? Improv. I love playing that character. I always like to be funny in films when I can, and especially with this character, I really, really got to be funny. I do not know how they hired Dumb and Dumber to the police force, but they did. But yeah, it was fun to play that. Another film where we filmed it in my grandparents' basement, which also was pretty cool. It was also very awesome to have Caitlin play the main character in that one, as that was fun. I also played the killer in that film, where I got to move like Michael Myers, and that one of my favorite scenes in that entire film is me coming out of the shower, and I just whoop that shower door open, and I walk out, and she's crawling on the floor for her life. That was fun. Isn't that fun? You're just chasing somebody, and they're begging for their life. Yeah, it's fun. But I'm kidding, or am I? No, it was fun playing the killer guy. It's always fun when you get to play, like I said before, people that you're not, or am I? But you know, but yeah, no, it was fun playing that. Who knows if we do more parts to it, if we'll find out who or what that thing is. Who knows? But it was great to do that, and it was fun doing all the creepy stuff, and it was right around Halloween, so it was very fun. I loved doing the scenes in LJ where you got to see the square and in town and everything, and it was pretty. The scenes with me and Dawson, it's very fun to do. I enjoyed them very much, and I hope we get to play Dumb and Dumber again. So, yeah. Well, that about rounds it up, sums it up, son. That's all my people that I've done in the last 3 years. It's been fun. It's been a roller coaster of emotions, acting, and just acting. That's about it. But it's 3 years. A lot can happen in 3 years, and a lot has happened in 3 years. We've lost people. We've gained people. We've gained one permanent member in Caitlin. That's a big thing. We've just done the best we can to make entertaining videos for you lovely people. And it's fun to play these characters over and over again. More characters are soon to come. I am looking forward to playing a lot of more Star Wars people, because I know we've been talking about doing films like that, and playing characters such as the Alien and the Mantis film. We're thinking about doing the Mantis film. I'm supposed to play an alien who was the very first Mighty Mantis. Don't know what I'm talking about? Good. You shouldn't. Characters like that, I can't wait to do the films like that, and also the murder mystery stuff and the crime stuff is a lot of fun to do. Also, let us know in the comments down below and on our Instagram what types of films you want to see, what characters you want to see us create, and what you want us to do, because it would be very helpful. But with that being said, it's been a great 3 years since the last character video that we did. Can't wait to play many more characters. Can't wait to act like I'm a murderer. I can't wait to play comedic characters. I can't wait to see people beg for their life. I'm kidding. Kidding. Okay, calm down, people. Can't wait to play a lot of people that I quite frankly am not in real life. That's called acting. That's going to do it here for me. If you like this video, leave a like down below. Comment what videos we should make next here on the Weather News Happens or Not channel. And subscribe to the Weather News Happens or Not channel. My name is Trace Parks, and I will see you in the next Weather News Happens or Not video. Bye-bye.